Sometimes, the quietest women carry the loudest hearts. Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes and felt the entire universe reflected there, only to realize her lips no longer speak? She was once the light that walked into your life, radiant, vibrant, full of love, but then slowly, she pulled away. The morning text stopped. The way she used to seek your gaze disappeared. Her touch, once instinctive, no longer reached for you in a crowded room. And so you start to wonder, what did I do wrong? Is this love already fading? But what if I told you, her silence isn't the end? What if silence is sometimes the loudest expression of love? A love so deep, it frightens her. Because women who love deeply don't always express it in words. They love through quiet sacrifices, through hearts that tremble from wounds still healing. And sometimes, that love makes them retreat, not because they want to leave, but because they fear being left. Welcome to Shining Mirror-LVB, where we don't just look at behavior, we reflect on the unseen emotional waves beneath it all. In this video, we'll explore one of love's most delicate paradoxes: why women sometimes distance themselves from the very person they love most. This isn't an answer you'll find in books. This is an answer whispered through everything she doesn't say. And sometimes, what's left unsaid speaks the loudest. When she wants to be close but suddenly pulls away. She used to shine for you. She texted first. She asked about your day. Listened when you talked about your dreams. She made you feel seen, loved, like finally, you found someone real. But then something changed. She grew quiet, distant, her eyes avoided yours. No more morning texts, no more playful words, just silence, cold, stretched out, full of unspoken questions. And you're confused. Did I do something wrong? Should I chase harder? Is she losing interest? No. That's not it. The truth is, when a woman loves deeply, she doesn't just feel joy, she also feels fear. Her mind starts racing with possibilities of loss even when things feel right. Because she's been here before, she's opened up before, and that kind of love, the one that made her believe, also shattered her. So now, when love shows up again, her heart says yes, but her wounds whisper, be careful. So she pulls back, not because she loves you less, but because being around you stirs a storm inside her chest, a storm of hope colliding with old pain. Her silence is not absence, it's a tidal wave building within her, between the desire to love and the fear of being broken again. The remains of her past, when love in the present carries the scars of yesterday. You see a woman, graceful, composed, maybe even confident, but what you don't see is the storm she survived. You don't see the nights she curled into herself, trying to understand how love could leave so quietly. You don't hear the silence after the promises faded, or the voicemail she played over and over, hoping it meant something. You don't feel the way her heart used to leap at a text, until it stopped coming. And then you showed up. You, kind, present, maybe even different. Her heart notices, her body softens, but her mind whispers warnings from the ruins left behind. Don't get too close. Don't fall again. Protect yourself this time. So she doesn't build a bridge. She builds a wall, not because she wants distance, but because closeness once cost her too much. Her silence isn't rejection. Her caution isn't disinterest. It's memory. It's protection. She overthinks, measures every message, reads between every word you say. Not because she doesn't trust you, but because she once trusted someone who wore your same smile and ended up bleeding alone. For a woman who's been broken, new love feels like walking barefoot on thin ice. Each step threatens to crack. Her fear isn't irrational, it's historical. She's not cold, she's cautious, and if you're patient enough to stay, gentle enough not to rush her, sincere enough to hold space without pressing, then one day, she'll let you in, not because she needs saving, but because you made her feel safe. The past is never dead. It's not even past. William Faulkner, The flood of feelings, when love becomes overwhelming. There are moments when love isn't light and joyful. It rushes in like a flood, intense, fast, breathless. For some women, love doesn't arrive in small, gentle waves. It comes like a storm surge, powerful, unpredictable, all-consuming. You think that when she falls for you, she'll open up, talk more, share more, but then she does the opposite. She pulls back, grows quiet, disappears, and you wonder, did I do something wrong? Is she falling out of love? But the truth is, not at all. Some women are like the ocean. On the surface, they appear calm, steady, serene, but underneath, currents rage. The deeper the feeling, the quieter they become. When emotions rise too quickly, they can't process and articulate them at the same time. They can't feel everything and explain everything all at once. So, they vanish, not to leave you, but to find themselves. She needs space to breathe, to return to herself, to ask, is this feeling safe? Is it real? Or is it just an echo from an old wound in disguise? For a woman who has known loss, love isn't just a spark, it's a voyage. And before she moves forward, she needs to pause, breathe deep, and make sure she's not stepping into a wave that will carry her away. So if she goes quiet, don't panic, don't chase, stand still, be the shore, not the storm. Still waters run deep. Latin proverb, a silent woman is not indifferent, she's often feeling more than words can ever say. Holding power, when love feels like losing yourself. In a world that constantly teaches women to be strong, independent, and logical, falling in love can feel like surrendering control. Not because the man did something wrong, but because emotions, so unpredictable, so overwhelming, can suddenly feel like a threat to the identity she worked so hard to build. A woman who built her life on self-reliance begins to notice herself caring too much, hoping too much, waiting too long, and it scares her. She fears that if she lets love take the lead, she might lose touch with the strong, grounded version of herself she fought to become. She fears that expressing her feelings will make her look weak, fragile, too vulnerable. Labels the world all too quickly gives to women who dare to feel deeply. So she chooses silence, not because she's empty of emotion, but because she's trying to hold on to power, the power to remain herself even while loving someone else. She's not trying to play hard to get. She's not cold, she's not testing you. She's simply protecting the one person she can't afford to lose again, herself. And if you listen closely, you'll realize her silence is not rejection, it's a quiet request. Can you love me, without asking me to leave myself behind? Because a strong woman isn't someone without fear. She's the one who still chooses to walk toward love, even when her heart is trembling. She wasn't afraid because she was fearless. She was strong because she walked forward despite the fear. Atticus, silent signs that she loves you. How can you tell the difference between silence that means disinterest and silence that speaks of love? She doesn't say, I miss you, but her eyes find you in a crowded room, linger just a second too long, then quickly look away, as if her heart was caught in a moment too honest to hide. She doesn't message every hour, but whenever you reach out, she always responds, maybe slowly, maybe cautiously, but she never truly disappears. There are moments when you walk into a space, and nobody notices except her. She grows quieter, more reserved, maybe she even avoids looking at you directly. But you sense it, the shift in her breath, the flicker in her gaze, the nervous way she tucks her hair behind her ear when you pass by. You once shared a small story, one you almost forgot, but a week later, she mentions it, like she's been holding on to every word you said, quietly treasuring the parts of you didn't know were meaningful. Love doesn't always arrive with declarations or grand gestures. Sometimes, it hides in the small things, in presence, in awareness, in silence that echoes louder than any speech. Because the heart doesn't always speak in sentences. Sometimes, it just shows up and waits, hoping you're gentle enough to feel what no one says aloud. If silence were a language, would you know how to listen? What to do when she loves you in silence? Sometimes, the woman who loves you the most is the one who says the least. She doesn't shout her feelings or make grand gestures. She watches from a distance, worries quietly, and keeps her emotions hidden because her heart has known pain. Or because what she feels for you is too deep, too overwhelming. So what should you do? Be patient. Rushing may break the most delicate bonds. Don't push her to open up. But also, don't walk away. Stay, softly, gently. Be the kind of presence that feels like peace. Invisible in pressure but visible in constancy. Be consistent. Don't disappear and then return. Don't offer warmth and then withdraw. A woman who loves silently needs steady ground to feel safe. Your consistency is the emotional shelter she doesn't know how to ask for. Create emotional safety. Don't wait for her to go first. Lead with honest, vulnerable sharing. When she sees that you're not afraid to be real with yourself, she'll trust you enough to slowly step out from behind her silence. Respect her timing. No interrogations, no ultimatums. Love blossoms in freedom. When she feels that space, she'll come closer, not because she's pushed, but because she chooses. Speak through actions, a thoughtful glance, a quiet check-in, a moment of deep listening. Love doesn't need many words, but it needs your presence to be real. When to let go. Not all silence means love. We must also be honest with ourselves. Not every silence carries love. Sometimes, silence is a void, a retreat, a quiet way of saying no without using words. If you're always the only one trying, if your presence doesn't stir even a flicker of feeling, if she offers no emotional response at all, then perhaps it's not love anymore. That kind of silence is not intimacy, it's absence. Letting go isn't failure, it's wisdom. It's the way you say to yourself, I deserve a love that's clear, not one I have to guess at. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is turn around and walk away. Next time a woman suddenly grows quiet, don't rush to the conclusion that she no longer cares. Pause, look deeper. She may not be walking away. She may be trying to breathe through a storm of feelings she doesn't yet know how to express. Silence, at times, is not absence, it's a sanctuary. A sacred space where love takes form without noise, without demand, without pressure. True love doesn't shout, it whispers, and if you are still enough, you'll hear her heart calling your name. If this video touched something within you, we invite you to share your story in the comments. Have you ever loved someone in silence? Click like if you believe quiet love still matters, and subscribe to Shining Mirror-LVB, where we reflect, heal, and grow, one quiet heartbeat at a time.